Popcorn, our fourth episode, and today we're actually not going to do interviews, or not interviews, excuse me, reviews. And we're actually talking about urban legends today, and with our new co-star, Alyssa!
Hello.
Yay! I'm sorry if I sound a little bit stuffy, I am, sorry. But, okay, yeah. So our first urban legend we're going to talk about is Cthulhu. I always thought Cthulhu was, like, really cool looking, and all the little, like, plushies and stuff of Cthulhu is so adorable, and the paintings
You
are
would.
amazing. I know, right? Like, I don't know why. And I have, like, a little octopus on my phone for, like, the always on display thing that Samsung has, and it reminds me of Cthulhu, even though it's orange, but I still love it. I don't know. I don't know why I love Cthulhu so much. But, and there's not a lot of stuff about Cthulhu. Like, I haven't even read the H.P. Lovecraft book about the Cthulhu, but I don't barely know anything about him, but I thought that it'd be interesting. Just be like, okay, here it is. Um, Basically, he's just a giant sea monster that is sleeping in the Pacific Ocean. I'm sorry if you can hear my fan as well. Um, and just different, I guess, cults try to call out to him every so often and wake him
What
up.
are their names? Do you know the names of the
I
cults?
don't know, actually. There's just, because there's not a lot of,
Hey,
I guess,
sorry.
I mean, there's sightings of him. You're fine. No, Alyssa's talking to our dog.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, I guess, like, not a lot of stuff on the tribes or, like, cults or anything. They're just like, oh, sometimes they, like, chant, which I'm not going to try the chants, but basically some of the
Yeah.
chants are translated to, like, um, Cthulhu's sleeping, and Cthulhu needs to basically wake the fuck up.
So these old chants remind me of like Bloody Mary. I wonder
I
if
think
that's
so
a
too.
thing with other urban legends.
Maybe.
Because that reminds me of Bloody Mary, and there's another chant that it reminds me of. Um, I know there's like a haunted house somewhere that if you circulate it so many times that it says that you disappear. And it kind of reminds me of that too.
That does sound really weird.
I know. I think you have to do it 13 times.
Of course. Number 13.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But some of the chants are like, the main one, I guess, chanting its horrid phase. It's called a horrid phrase, excuse me, or ritual. I can't pronounce the chant, but it says, in his house at Riley, I believe, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. And it's so, like, he's not dead, actually. He's just in a dead-like sleep, basically, at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, I believe. And, it just sounds like he just wants away from it all, you know? Like, he's just misunderstood a little bit, and then they have the cults who try to kind of, like, awaken him. It's just like, no, leave him alone, you know?
Yeah.
He wants his, like, vacation time to never end, which this is fine, whatever. He's forever asleep, okay. You know, some people want that. I mean, it's not death for Cthulhu, but still, you know.
Or Caluthula, as my husband would pronounce it.
Oh gosh, no.
That was like one of our first dates. We were talking because we're strange, and we were talking about urban legends, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the Caluthula," and I'm like, "Wait, you mean Cthulhu? No, the Caluthula." So that's kind of in our household. That's his name
I
is
wonder if
Caluthula.
I wonder if he had thought of like a uvula, like that thing in the back of your throat, and but like kind of put it together or something. I think that's
And
what
he's
it's
like,
called.
obviously, that's what this is named after.
Yeah,
All makes
obviously.
sense. I don't know.
Obviously.
He's weird. And I feel bad making fun of him because when he was little, he had a speech impediment.
Oh, I did too, but I make fun of
Oh,
myself.
yeah. I know. So he used to stutter really bad. Uh, so every now and again, I'll just start stuttering to him. I know I'm a horrible
Okay.
person.
Oh gosh.
It's okay. He makes fun of me too.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I guess the callers, or not the callers, the listeners don't know as well that me and Alyssa have been friends for over 13 years now. So there's another
Yes.
13 in there for you.
You need to tell them the story of how we met.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so wait, why would I have to? Okay, never mind. I'll tell it. Anyways, so okay, so me and my family just moved into this apartment complex, and we didn't know anybody. We just met like our across the way neighbors, and they're really cool. We hung out, and then Alyssa comes out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is Alyssa," and then she has braces at the time because we're like, I don't know how old,
Like 11?
11.
No, how old are we? 25? I'm 25.
I'm 25.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
we're like, I mean,
Math.
10, 11, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, and my sister, who's never seen braces before, is like, "Can I touch your braces?" and Alyssa's like, no." And that was how we became friends.
No, I let her touch my braces.
I
I
thought
was
you
like,
didn't.
sure.
That
No, I
was
did.
weird. That
I did. I
would.
don't know why,
Shut
but a
up.
lot of other weird stuff happened there, so.
Oh God. I have a bad story, but I don't think you want to talk about that story.
No.
I think you know what I'm
Save it
talking
for another time.
about. All right. So what do you have, Alyssa?
So, first, I have a scary story to tell you
I don't know.
that you wouldn't even let me tell you when I called you the other day. You were like, no, save it, because I want to be surprised about it.
Yes,
So,
I'm excited.
I have been really listening to scary podcast.
Sounds like a
Um,
plant.
yeah, it does, doesn't it? Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh my god.
Um, I've been listening to Two Girls, One Ghost, which is really good. Like, they are very, they're like, they're friends, and it's like a funny, but it also gets really serious and really scary. So I was listening to them, and I'm driving home, and on my way home, the way where I was coming from, I always pass this huge cemetery, huge, and it's actually where my uncle is buried.
Mm.
So I'm passing it, and usually when I pass it, I get like a really good feeling because that's where he is. So it's kind of like a, hey, see you later, whatever. But when I pass it this time, I felt dread, like horrible dread, and I've never felt that scared. Like my palms started to get really sweaty, and I'm like, I'm all alone, obviously. So I turn off the podcast and I start listening to My Chemical Romance because I'm like, that'll make me feel better. So I'm like, okay, maybe this will be. So I'm like singing, and I'm like, everything is okay. I'm just gonna sing. Everything is good.
Did you listen to Cemetery Drive?
No, I should have though.
Yeah, you should
Ah, I
have.
should have. I think I was listening to like Dischanted, and I'm like, everything is fine. Everything is fine. But when I got home, I like ran to my door and unlocked the door really fast and ran in, and Josh was already asleep. Josh is my husband. He was already asleep. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I told him about it the next morning, and I'm like, I had the scariest thing happen to me. And he was like, yeah, whatever. But when I went out to my car, my lunchbox, because I carry a lunchbox to work every day, it was thrown around my car.
What the fuck?
And everything was thrown out of it. Like I had a bunch of almonds in it and like a baggie, and they were thrown everywhere. And I'm like, my car was locked. Nobody could have gotten in there. So I think I was visited by something scary. Uh, was not a fan. So that was really scary. So when I was telling Josh about it, I'm like, yeah, and then my lunchbox was thrown all around. He was like, yeah, whatever. I don't believe in ghosts. So it's really weird though, because he doesn't believe in ghosts. But we both believe in God, but he doesn't believe in ghosts. He doesn't believe in any urban legends except for, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, this is going to be a spoiler alert for Until Dawn and a little bit about The Descent. So if you don't want to hear that, you might want to not listen to this. He is terrified of Wendigos. So, a Wendigo is a cannibalistic monster that takes place in several Native American legends. It's described as being really emaciated, and its skin is pulled tightly over its bones. So it's like really, really, really skinny, and all of its skin is pulled completely over its bones, and it has a grayish complexion with sunken eyes, and it looks kind of like a skeleton. What I've seen of it, it either looks like the monsters from The Descent. If you've ever seen that movie, you've seen that movie, right?
I've seen parts of that movie, but not
Oh
all of
God,
them. But I know what
that's
you're
a
talking about.
really that's a really good movie.
Okay,
It really is. It actually got like
Oh,
really
that's
high scores on Rotten
heartwarming.
Tomatoes. So
Okay, you can watch that.
for horror films don't get really good reviews usually.
Yeah.
So, but he's terrified of this thing because I think he read something on Reddit once about it, and he's like, "No, it's totally real." And I'm like, "But there's no there's been more sightings of the Mothman than this thing." So
You
I don't
know,
know why he's
I think
afraid of it.
another spoiler. Well, I guess I talked about this movie earlier with Carlos in the podcast, but The Ritual. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that thing.
I think
It kind of looks like that.
it's kind of looks like that. Yeah, because
Okay.
they're often described as being like a giant.
Yeah, and that thing
So
was tall. It was weird face looking
yeah,
because it had a face like in the middle of its chest, but it had another head on top of its
yeah,
head. But whatever. But it
yeah.
kind of looks like that in the picture I'm looking at.
Yeah, it does look it yeah, it does kind of look like that, but they've also been described as human. Like they come about in the winter, which my theory is that they come in the winter because they're cannibals. And I mean, way back when if you didn't have enough food in the winter, you died.
Mm.
So they're typically seen, and I say seen in quotations because I don't know if I believe in this one, but they're seen in the North Atlantic, like the East Coast way up there, like even going in towards Canada.
Hmm.
So you can imagine a winter there would be horrible
Mm-hmm.
when it wasn't in modern times, when we weren't in modern times. So they're seen then. They can technically be a human that has eaten another human. So it was the tribes that had this tradition or this folklore. It was kind of like a warning to not eat other humans, which spoiler alert until dawn.
Mm-hmm.
In that those creatures are Wendigos, and they became that because they were eating humans. So, and I think it's going to make a comeback eventually, since Until Dawn kind of, to me, that kind of sparked the interest in them.
Mm.
I could see this being in movies soon. And
Most likely.
even the ritual, it kind of resembles it. So I could see it coming back. Like they've appeared in comics. They're in a Marvel comic called Wendigo.
Hmm.
They've appeared in Supernatural, which we both love.
Mm-hmm.
Charmed, which I don't remember ever seeing this on Charmed, and I watched all of Charmed. I love Charmed.
That's
And
cool.
Grimm, which I've only seen a couple episodes of Grimm.
Yeah, I've never seen a lot of them.
Yeah. So that is a Wendigo. They're they're evil. They're usually thought of evil spirits, and they eat people. So if you ever see one, run. That's my
Nice.
best advice for you.
It also kind of reminds me of the Chupacabra, kind of. That's a thing.
Yeah, but they're not as big. I
Yeah.
mean, well, Chupacabra is very small,
Yeah.
and it's in Mexico. And there's more evidence on a Chupacabra than a Wendigo.
That's true. Yeah, I think I would believe a Chupacabra than a Wendigo if there's.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that it would be some kind of. We've only explored like 5% of the ocean, so it makes sense that there could be animals that we've never
Like
encountered
Cthulhu.
before. Yeah, like a Cthulhu or a Cthulhu.
How do you get Caluthula out of
I
Cthulhu? Like, if
I
you
really don't
look
know.
at the name, and there's like no A at all.
That's my husband.
He's some kind of special.
I know. He really is. We also call pajamas.
Okay, that's just weird.
And sushi. We call sushi sush.
Okay.
Like, let's go get some sush.
I've heard like people talk about it like that.
I'm so happy somebody else says that because I told him it wasn't weird. That one wasn't weird. Pajamas,
It
I
is.
feel like I've heard that before.
I
But
just think
Kaluthala,
pajamas
no.
makes me think of like uh the weird banana.
The oh, I know you're talking about.
What?
Ah, what's his name? The yellow. It's like yellow banana.
Yeah,
Well,
they make
obviously
chips
he's a
out of
yellow
it.
banana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they make like chips out of it. Oh, plantain.
Pajama bananas and pajamas.
That too. I mean, that was a
Oh,
joke.
were you thinking of something different?
Plantains.
Oh, how did you get to plantains?
I don't know. Pajamas? I don't know. Banana Pajamas was a good kids show. I remember that. I have like weird
Mm-hmm.
dreams about it sometimes, and I'm like that's a thing.
That's a thing.
That's a thing. I'm not crazy.
Oh man, I haven't had any scary dreams lately or
I
anything
actually
weird.
haven't. I've only had weird dreams where it's like my boyfriend does something and I wake up and I'm like, "Did you do this?" And he's just like, "No." I was like, "Okay, dream thing. Sorry."
I
Like,
had a dream last night that I went to Disneyland because I've never been
yeah.
and I want to go. I had a dream last night I went,
Um,
but
yeah.
it's never gonna happen.
I
It'll
mean,
happen.
me and Cody, my boyfriend, we're planning on going to Disney World later this year
I want to go.
after summer because summer is like
Take
really
me
fun.
with you.
Okay, come on.
Well, summer's the only time I have off because I'm a teacher, so
You don't want to go in summer.
I know. Uh, I don't want to go in summer. I really want to go in October, but we'll
Oh,
see.
if anyone hasn't guessed yet, Alyssa doesn't live in Florida with me. She actually lives in Tennessee.
Yeah,
She has a, more urban legends up there. Oh, we could talk about um,
the Bell Witch.
the Bell Witch.
I was thinking of
Yes.
her. Yeah, I don't know too much about her. Do you know more about her?
I used to when I was a kid. Like I used
Yeah.
to love looking up stuff. That, like my dad. I put Bell Mitch.
Was it? I know like she haunted that family, and then like I'd have to look more into it because it's been so long since I've heard about her.
I know. I actually just remembered her. I didn't know. I remember my dad. We
We
used
have
to
the
drive
Bell
by.
Witch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We used to drive by where like they supposedly lived or whatever, and like
yeah. I
all this, and I was just like so
think it's
fascinated by it as a kid. But it's also kind
yeah,
of scared me. I was like, let's go home now. But let's go back
yeah.
like this week.
It's Adams, Tennessee, right?
Yeah,
So
Adams.
it's not John Adams, but maybe it is John Adams, but not
It's the
like
Bell family.
historical figure John Adams. But
Yeah.
I feel like the little girl's name was Abigail Adams. But then maybe I'm confusing her with the Salem witch trials.
I think you might be.
Yeah,
Might be.
I don't know. But we have the Bell Witch. Um we have
There's
we have
more.
tons of haunted stuff. Like
There's like
all
a
of
cave.
our state capitals are haunted.
Yeah. There was a cave in the park that we used to go to. I forgot.
Are you
Dang.
talking about Montgomery Bell?
Yeah. There's a cave in
Montgomery
there.
Bell has a weird story. I'm pretty sure it's just like a bunch of teenagers made it up, but
Probably.
they say, and I told Josh this, and he was like, "Yeah, whatever." I think Josh is secretly afraid of everything, and he doesn't want to admit it because he's a big tough man.
Yeah.
But they say in Montgomery Bell there was a traveling circus that
That's what I heard.
went through, and the train that they were on fell off the rails, and their wolf man got free. So they say that if you travel the trails, that you can hear wolves howling, and you can see the wolf man, which I've done before. I've gone on this, and I literally did hear howling. It was terrifying. I ran back. I left everybody. I'm like, you are all dead. I'm getting out of
Forget you
here.
guys. I'm going home. I'm
Yeah,
nervous.
exactly. So, but yeah. So I don't know too much about that one. I think that was just like we have coyotes or we have a wolf that's free in there, but
I mean,
I
that
don't know.
sounds more logical than like the wolf
But
man.
logical is not as fun.
I know, but like I don't really believe in it either. I don't believe in anything except like I probably won't believe it. It's just interesting to me. But until I see it, like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Do you believe in ghosts? I don't know if we've ever talked about this.
I don't know if I do really.
I do. I
Um,
do, but I've seen them. So,
okay. Like I've seen things out of the corner of my eye, but I'm like, oh, that's my
was it shadow
glasses.
people?
No, it's my
Have you ever
glasses.
heard about shadow people? Shadow people
I
scare me.
have heard about shadow people.
They
I
scare me. I
heard
don't
a
like them.
podcast that I forgot what was. Damn, I'm so sorry. But yeah, they were talking about shadow people, and I was like, "Ooh, that's creepy," and I was like,
Yeah,
"Ooh,
they're like omens of death
death,"
usually
and the
and
kids of the
bad
black.
luck. Oh God, Kids with the Black Eyes scare me too. But I don't know how much I believe that one
Yeah, I don't.
because I've never heard of them too
I like
much.
to watch like I don't know BuzzFeed Unsolved,
I
and they
love
go.
BuzzFeed
I know
Unsolved.
they're so great. Shane and Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
They go to random places, and I'm kind of like Shane. Like I don't taunt them. I don't want to taunt them because I'm just like
And I'm
okay.
Orion.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my god, like we have to drink our holy water. We can't do anything with demons. And Shane's like, come
Yeah.
at me, demons, your boys are here. And I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I'm not like that as Shane aspect, but I'm just like, I don't really believe it until I see something. Like, it might
Yeah.
creep me out while I'm there, but I'm just like, but it's a creepy place and it's at night. Of course it's gonna creep out. But I'm not gonna be like, yo, demons, I'm here, what up? Let's
What up?
party. No, I'm not gonna do that. And if it is real, then I don't want to piss them off, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want, I would say, hey, you know, if you're here, if you're real, make some
Yeah.
things happen. Like on their new episode, the Shadowy Spirits of, what is it? The
The
Shadowy Spirit.
Asylum.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
Orphan's
remember what it was
Asylum.
called though. Yeah.
That was really cool. Like they went
The
through.
little dog,
Yeah, that
the
was really
static
cool.
electricity dog that sensed it, and then when they left, it actually started to light up.
Yeah, like I don't know, like if it was just like a ghost child touching it, or it was just like
Or some kind of
shortening.
interference.
Yeah, or interference, or shortening in the wire or something. I'm still kind of like
Yeah.
iffy about that. The shadow box thing that he does with the radio thing, I thought that was really cool. Um,
Yeah.
I did hear the thing in the room say, "Is there a doctor there?" or something like that, and I
Yeah, and
was
that
like,
was weird.
okay, that's a little bit weird. But also because he's doing radio frequencies, like things can pick up over radio frequencies. Like even if you're like scanning it like really really fast, you could hear things like I've in one of those episodes. I didn't want to comment on it, but I don't want to be that person. But I did hear like a lot of like radio talk shows, like random words here and there, and they thought they heard something, and I was like, no. Oh, Ryan thought he
Yeah.
heard something. Shane's like, nah, I don't think it was. And I'm like, yeah,
See,
Shane's
I
right.
would be like, no, it's totally real.
And I'd be the one to like bring
We
you
should
back to
go ghost
reality.
hunting. We
We
should go ghost hunting.
should.
Yeah.
We
Do you have
should.
any scary urban legends in Florida?
Um, the only thing I can really think of is, well, we have a bunch of like rundown amusement parks. Like
Mm.
Disneyland has one, not Disneyland, Disney World has one somewhere that I
Reminds me
want to
of
go to.
Goosebumps.
I know, right? Like I want to go to it, but it's just like blocked off, and like I've seen pictures of it. I'm like, oh man, I really want to go there and check it out. And then there's this, there is a lot of haunted like hotels. There's
Yeah.
this haunted bar in Key West that I was looking at, and oh, we have a oh, I forgot the name of it. There is this like a breakfast inn. Um, it's not an inn. I guess there's no rooms to stay in, but it's like a breakfast and lunch type of thing. And I
Yeah.
forgot what it was called. But that is haunted. It's by the railroad tracks, and it's been there since like 1880 something like that. And I'm gonna try to find it.
Did I
Haunted.
ever tell you my fear of railroad tracks?
I don't think so.
So there used to be a serial killer that would ride the tracks and then he would jump off and kill people that lived like close to him. So railroad tracks freak me out. I refuse to live next to them. Refuse. Even if it was like dream house, I'm like, no. Nope, not doing it.
That does sound creepy. Like that stuff,
Uh-uh.
like real people stuff, like stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, things like people killing people and things like that. That's the stuff that freaks me out. Because humans are scary. Like
Yeah, we are.
we can
Yeah.
fake it and then just snap. Like
Yeah.
creatures and things can do that as well, but they can't fake it. Like if they want to kill
No.
you, they will come after you. You know you're gonna die. But humans are
Yeah.
like, let's be friends. Let me
And
peek
then
into your life. Like
that's
okay.
why sociopaths really scare me because they're really good at hiding their emotions
Oh yeah.
and acting normal, and that freaks me out.
Oh yeah.
I, as a teacher, I really do believe some of my kids are. They could be like they show a lot of the signs, like they have no empathy, and they have like a really awkward moral compass. Like they think their truth is always right, even if it's hurting other people.
Yep.
And it always worries me. I'm like, what if this kid grows up and because I mean our world is crazy. Like in Nashville, which is close to where I live, in Nashville we had 2 shootings in the last couple days. And Nashville is really safe.
That's crazy.
So we had a people shoot up a Waffle House,
Oh
or a
yeah.
guy shoot up a Waffle House, and then we had somebody shoot up, which broke my heart because I eat there a lot. It's called Mas Tacos, por favor, and somebody shot a guy out there, and that's not something that happens in Nashville usually. So it always worries me that these kids are going to grow up and add to the statistic. So I show them unconditional love,
Mm.
but you know, you never know.
I
But
found the restaurant. Sorry, while you were talking.
oh
Um,
yeah, you're good.
it's called Ashley's. Ashley's um, Cafe and Lounge
Yeah.
in Rockledge.
Oh,
Yeah, I want to go there. Like my mom wanted to go there before she moved to Colorado, and we were trying to, but
your mom was definitely into all this stuff.
oh yeah, yeah, she got me into it when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like crazy. This is
I remember
why I'm so
going to your
grumpy.
house and watching like my first scary movies,
Oh yeah, your mom hated
like
them.
Jeepers Creepers.
Oh my god, yeah. My favorite, my scary movie that always scared me when I was a kid was Darkness Falls.
Ooh, Darkness Falls is scary
Oh my
because
god.
there's nothing you can do.
Well, yeah, but I watched it as an adult and I laughed at the whole thing. Like it's so
Yeah.
bad, and
Oh yeah.
she's like, I feel bad for her. Like she was burned for not a good reason. She was
Yeah.
wrongfully accused, and it's just
Yeah.
sad. And it is part like based on like a true story of the little town, or whatever. And there's like on the DVD that my mom had, there's like interviews with the town people, and they're like, yeah, Matilda, I don't remember.
I
Matilda.
think it was Matilda. Yeah.
Yeah, Matilda. Yeah, you're right. And like yeah, she was wrongfully accused of like killing these kids, but then the kids were later found or something. I don't know if that was another thing, but she was wrongfully accused and she was burned, and I was like, that's just horrible. And then she kills people or kills kids when they lost their free baby tooth. Which the time my mom showed me that movie, I was losing my last baby tooth, and I was freaked the fuck out. I'm
Oh.
like, please, and I was like, I'm gonna die in my sleep.
You're like,
She's gonna
gotta
come for
keep
me.
all the lights on
Yeah, I
forever.
kept a lamp by my bed, and I was just like, no, no one's coming for me right now.
Oh my
She's like, no,
gosh.
go to bed. It's fine. It's fake. And I was like, you're a liar. I don't believe you. You're just gonna get me
Yeah.
killed. And then
I
so
as a kid I would always go and watch the making of, because then it shows the monsters
yeah.
like out of costume, and I'm like, okay, these are just people. These are just people.
I tried to do that with that movie when I was a kid, but it still freaked me out, and I couldn't watch it until I was an adult.
Yeah.
I also did that with 13 Ghosts, which was one of my favorite movies.
Oh, 13 Ghost. It's really not that great now. When I went back and watched it like probably like last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, still good. What was the one with Catherine Zeta-Jones? Because that one is wonderful. I can't remember what it's called though. It's Catherine Zeta-Jones, and it's like little kids. Oh, it's not House on a Haunted Hill.
Oh, is it the big house?
Yeah.
Oh, the
What is
haunted.
that? Haunted. The
Yeah,
Haunting?
with the no,
Yeah.
it's the haunted.
The
It's
Haunted?
haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is with
I love
that
her.
was one of my favorite ones too. Because I just love that house, and I like
Yeah.
that there's a scene at the end. Spoilers. Blah, blah, blah. There's a scene at the end where like the main dude's hand who like killed all the kids or whatever, it comes through this like door, but and then it just like punches the woman because she's like trying to get the kids out of the room, the
Yeah.
dead kids, and it just punches her, and she's like, oh, and it just looks so cool when it like goes back, and I just want that door for some reason.
I
I
know.
really like that door. Gosh.
That was a neat movie, and I love Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah,
I
she's
know.
awesome.
I love her. But yeah, that one was really good.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah. So, can I tell you my ghost story?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, it all happened. First off, I will say I'll tell you about, because I've experienced sleep paralysis.
Oh gosh.
So I'll tell you about that in a second. But let's back it up, and like years and years when I was a wee babe. My grandpa died when I was probably 3, and me and him were besties. Like, he had lung cancer, so I was one that would always, like, give him his medicine, and, like, we hung out a lot. So when he died, he actually visited me in my room. Did I ever tell you this story?
I
I
think
feel
you
like I
did.
told you this story.
Yeah.
He visited me in my room, and I I guess got scared. I don't remember this, but my mom will tell you more.
I do remember
I
this
got
part, yeah.
scared, and then I ran into my mom, and I'm like, "Mom, there's a man in my room." And it turns out it was just my grandpa saying goodbye.
Aww.
So, if guardian angels are a thing, I think that would be mine. Would be my grandpa, probably. Yeah.
Aww.
I know, it was sweet. And our house was so haunted. When we were little, like, our house in Illinois,
Mm.
there would be we would, like, wake up in the middle of the night to, like, cabinets slamming and footsteps.
Fuck you, ghosts.
Yeah. Uh, but I haven't experienced anything else besides that, besides sleep paralysis, which is terrifying. The first time I ever had it, I've had it twice. The first time I ever had it, I they always say that you see shadow people then, or like a witch. I didn't see a witch. I saw this a girl that I went to high school with
Mm.
that I could not stand. So imagine so imagine being you can't move. You can't even like tilt your head. You can just move your eyes and then seeing like the person you could not stand the most just chilling in your room talking to you. And I'm like, "Why are you here?"
He's like, get the fuck out. But you
I'm
can't do
like,
anything.
I know you can't do anything. So I've learned that if you do have sleep paralysis, the best thing to do is just go back to sleep. Just say it's fine. Everything is fine. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. And then you wake up a couple minutes later and you're fine.
It's so creepy.
It is really scary because you cannot move anything. And I didn't really experience the heavy because a lot of people say it feels like something is sitting on you. I didn't experience that as much. It feels like if you ever wake up like you're half awake and you can't move very well,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it feels like.
Wow.
It's really terrifying. And then the second time, um, I was sleeping on the couch and Josh was playing a video game and I had it and I'm like trying to get him to help me,
Mm.
but obviously he doesn't know I need help because I can just move my eyes and I'm like trying to look at him, but I'm on my side and I'm like, help me, shake me.
Oh god.
But and then again, I just went back to sleep. If you go back to sleep, you wake up a couple minutes later and you're good. So
That'd be terrifying.
it is terrifying, but I think a lot of it stems from I have to have control. So if I don't have control, that's like one of my biggest fears is actually my biggest fear is actually being blind because I don't have control as much. I can't see.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that is why it's so scary is that you have no control. So if that ever happens to you, just relax. There's literally nothing you can do about it. You just go back to sleep. Shut your eyes and go back to sleep. It is terrifying. But so that happened and then obviously the thing that just happened like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta stop listening to scary podcasts.
It's messing with you.
I think it's opening something. So I don't know.
They're crawling
It's
through
all I know. I'm like, I don't like this.
you.
But we've also like my whole family believes in ghosts.
My mom
I don't know
does.
if I told you about that. But my whole family does. Like we've caught my aunt has taken pictures of like her kid's birthday party. And pulled like when they went to look back at the camera, there was like a face in the TV and there was nobody. The TV was off. Nobody was around it.
You know what you do then?
And do what?
House down.
Exactly. Yeah. And then my sister had an issue. It's only been two houses. It was my aunt's house and then my house in Illinois. She had an issue where she would wake up and her radio would be turned all the way up and it would be like weird classical music. But it would be like really loud as it can go, weird classical music. When she would go to sleep to like hip hop, usually. and it would be like kind of low, and that's what she would sleep to. So it would turn all the way up and be weird classical music.
Guys are
So she made me sleep in the room with her, and I'm like, these things like me. No, I don't want to be in here with you. I'm good. So I don't know. You've never had experiences, have you?
Not personally, no. Like I always thought I saw something on the corner of my eye, but like I said, it was usually only with my glasses or like the sunlight through my glasses. And I'm like, what the fuck, go away. But then it's always like
Yeah.
when I turn my head back, I'm just like, oh my god, this is annoying. So I just
Yeah.
like put up curtains. I mean recently,
Go away, ghost. I don't like
go
you.
away. Fuck you. I don't want you today. Not
Not
believing you.
today.
But I mean recently, like because Cody was gone for like 2 weekends, and I just creep myself out most of the
Mm.
time. Where I'm just like, what if someone died here? And then I'll just be seeing like a shadow in the corner of the room. I was like, get out.
I do that too. And then I go on like a tangent and I'm like,
Yeah,
but what if? And I'm like, what if a demon is in my house? What if this happens? What if that happens? And then I'm like, I have a dog. He's gonna bark at it.
I have nothing. That's why I was like, we
I
need to get a
know.
dog like
You need a
now.
dog. Well, Apollo barks at everything, and his ears just perked up. He knows I'm talking about him.
Oh,
He barks at everything, like everything. Even like I'm like a leaf blew, dog. A leaf. It was a leaf, and he'll bark at it. So I'm like, if anything happened, he would be on it. So
affecting his.
our cats are because we have two cats too, and they never go in the room with us when we sleep, but Apollo sleeps with us because I'm allergic to him. So I need like a space that's not like a cat free zone. So our cats will run around downstairs at night, and it always sounds like somebody's breaking in
Hmm.
because there's like a lot of cats that are free in our neighborhood that like walk around and they roam. And Atlas, when our male cat, is in love with a little girl cat that comes by, so he like moves our blinds and like slams his head on the door trying to get to her, and it sounds like somebody broke in.
Oh
So
god.
it's happened to us twice where Apollo will freak out and then Josh goes downstairs like, I'm going to protect the family with my sword because why not?
Better than a lightsaber that we have. So.
Nice. So he'll go down and like check, and it's just Atlas looking at his girlfriend.
Oh.
Oh no.
She's here. She's here.
She's here. I see her.
Guys, let me out.
I need her. I'm like, Atlas, you're fixed.
You can't do anything, buddy.
Nothing's going to happen.
Oh,
They're funny though.
poor little
Yeah,
Atlas.
I know. They are sweet. Oh, all right. I think I
I
think
think
that's
this
it.
would be a good stopping place for the podcast. Thank you for listening. You can follow our Twitter, follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, really. And we also have a Tumblr page that I post random articles about, mostly murders and creepy things. So if
Mhm.
you like that, we'll continue that. If you have any recommendations for us to talk about, you can let us know.
Ooh,
And
and tell us your urban legends or your
yes,
spooky ghost
let us
stories.
know your spooky ghost stories and urban legends in your hometown or state or whatever. That'd be fun to learn about.
Or city. Or
City.
tell us your exact address. We won't rob you, I swear.
We'll just look at your house. We like to look
Yeah,
at houses. I like
we
red
do like to look
doors,
at
so
houses.
I don't
I
know.
do I like red doors
It
too.
reminds me of what was it, The Conjuring or no? What was the movie with the red door and they're like that's the demon door.
I don't
And then
remember.
his son was like trapped there and he went into the
Is Insidious?
Insidious, yes.
Yeah,
I
okay.
always get them
Yeah.
confused. Yes, I was
I
like,
do
oh,
too.
I hate the red doors, but they're so cool. I'm like,
But
I
they
want a
are
red
they are
door.
so pretty.
Like my
It
house
has to be done it has to be done well though. Like you
is
can't have like a red door with red brick.
no
It
no no
doesn't
no.
look right.
It has to be
It has to make sense with your color scheme.
yeah, and a black door handle. That looks perfect.
Yeah. Tell us your interior design tips.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, blood and popcorn listeners, have a great day and stay spooky.
Stay spooky. Bye.